Welcome back to another action figure obsession video, and it's your old pal Avian Loaded. Action figure obsession episode number, who knows. And what we have here is probably my most favorite recent Hasbro Marvel Legends Wolverine figure. This is the World War II Logan, who has been depicted in a number of media over the years, since we learned sort of in dribs and drabs, hints and insinuations over the years that Logan was older than he appeared to be in his first appearances in Marvel Comics in Incredible Hulk 180 to 182. He had a page each in 180, the last page and the first page of 182, and then 181 was just that epic first appearance battle between Wolverine, who wasn't even called Logan then. We didn't know what his name was. He was Wolverine, man. And created by Len Wein, and first penciled by artist Herb Trimpe, although I believe the costume was actually designed by John Romita Sr., if I recall correctly. Feel free to make any corrections in the comments. The only correction I don't want to see is that Roy Thomas has a co-creator credit for Wolverine, because that's bullshit. Unfortunately, they did give him that. I will never know why. I'll never understand why. It's one of the great mysteries in the history of Marvel Comics, and probably has something to do with all the money to be made from having a piece of the action when it comes to the Wolverine character in regard to the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Roy Thomas wrote a lot of great comics that I really, really liked, but it's funny how he just remembered that he co-created Wolverine 50 years after the character debuted. Oh, hey, guess what? I just remembered. Yeah, I created Wolverine. Well, co-created. Somebody else wrote it and somebody else designed the costume and somebody else drew it, but I was like, hey, I got an idea. Wolverine. Everything important about Wolverine did not come from Roy Thomas. I am reasonably certain about that. That whole thing was just gross, and that's all I'll say about that. So this is the World War II Wolverine. Here he is, a handsome man. I remember him appearing in the Captain America episode of the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, in a similar getup to this. And since it was World War II, in the comic continuity, Wolverine did not get his claws until relatively recently. Of course, it's always a sliding timeline with Marvel because we have to keep them forever young. But at the time that Wolverine debuted, he probably had his adamantium skeleton and his claws, which didn't even actually get mentioned in his first appearance, I don't think. He just had claws. Nobody explained it, and it was assumed that they were part of his gloves or something. Your headcanon for Wolverine, depending upon the first story you ever read or where you jump into his history, it could be just about anything, I'm telling you. So I originally was planning to get a bunch of these to, kit bash and fit into my G.I. Joe classified collection, because, it's a soldier. It's an army guy. Sure, he's wearing this is the SSR patch. Let me, I believe it is SSR. Strategic Scientific Reserve, I think is what that stood for in the MCU, at least the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not sure if it's a reference to something in the comics or not, but the SSR is the precursor to S.H.I.E.L.D. that would have existed during World War II, in at least some of the lore, some of the mythology, and that is why he's wearing that SSR patch. And I think probably for this action figure design, they gave him that because it made more sense than giving him an American flag on his army uniform, since, Wolverine is Canadian, and I don't even know if he knew he was Canadian at the time of his adventures in World War II. And I'm sure there's a million different comics that contradicted a million different ways. But for my money, clearly he did participate on the side of, on the right side of history in World War II, which would be fighting fascism and killing fascists. That's what good people do. And I'm sure that's what Wolverine was up to in World War II, no matter whether it was a movie or a comic book or, a piece of Bazooka Joe bubblegum cartoon strip that came with the gum. So this is he has the strapped-on claws, the strap-ons, if you will, and the reason for that being that in at least some of the stories that I have seen involving Wolverine in World War II, he does not, at that point in his history, remember that he has claws, but probably has an instinct to use claws that is, sort of somewhere in the back of his brain. So he straps these babies on, and he does what needs to be done to fight fascism, and that's it. That's Wolverine in World War II. I mean, what more do you need? There's some, headcanon for you. Um, he looks damn good, doesn't he? When he was first announced, I was excited. And as I said, I was thinking about getting a bunch of them to kit bash into G.I. Joe Classified series, maybe as just green shirts or something like that. But then, I remembered. Hey, poor Logan. He's just a little fella. He's just a little fella. And this one's taller than most Wolverines, I think. Let me see if I can prove that point real quick. Yep. Even if you were to take the helmet off, which you cannot, at least not easily, you could boil it and probably pry it off, but it's glued on. But he definitely is taller than, this is pretty much the average Wolverine. This is that Wolverine body they've been using since like 2015, I think, was when that debuted. So he's just a little fella. But he's a World War II fella, and, so's this version of Captain America here, with his big smiling patriotic face and his bad-shaped shield. The original Captain America shield right there, and this thing is beautifully, beautifully sculpted and painted. Look at that work of art. It even has the straps on it, baby. Hey, they're both doing strap-ons. And these straps are because the shield is the World War II version of the shield from the Marvel Select, Diamond Select Captain America, the last one ever, because Diamond Select, Marvel Select went out of business about a year after they released the greatest 7-inch Captain America ever released to the world. So, would this Wolverine have fought with this Captain America, or would he have been more comfortable fighting with this Captain America, who is about the same height? These are both World War II Captain Americas. One is my kit bash. The other is pretty much Hasbro's stock World War II Captain America from long, long ago, 2010, 2012, whenever that came out. The movie Chris Evans' World War II Captain America. I did replace the head because the paint had scraped off his nose, and I hate a character with scraped off paint on the nose. It's one of my action figure obsession pet peeves. Other than that, the figure is still in pretty good condition. His star, relatively well painted. The head is that replacement head because I didn't like the paint that was chipped off, and it more or less matches the blue on the uniform. I'm not sure that the helmet matches, because this is the head from that time-traveling the time-traveling Avengers Endgame Captain America that came in like the spacesuit, the time travel suit. I just took the head off that and popped it on here. So it's an anachronism for a World War II Captain America probably to have these cool wings on the side of his helmet. But, you do what you got to do. And that's what I had to do. So for the purposes of this video, I guess, maybe these guys teamed up in World War II. It's not out of the question they could still show that in a future Marvel movie. Who knows? That would be a cool flashback scene. This Marvel Legends Wolverine didn't come with a ton of accessories, but it came with a few. Most notoriously, this all shook up Elvis Presley / what else have I heard? Just emo Logan, Robert Pattinson. There's a lot of comparisons. None of them involve Hugh Jackman, Logan, or Wolverine. This is just a weird-looking head. Come on, focus. There we go. Is that Wolverine? Is it? Is it Logan? Is it Logan? Or is it Elvis? Because in my collection, it's Elvis. Let's see if I can pop that on there with one hand. Can I do it? Can I do it? Come on. No, I'm so weak. It's so sad. Oh, weak. All right, I'm going to put the phone down. Everything's going to go black. Oh, I was watching his video, and then everything went black. I don't know what happened. It was so weird. It was so weird. It only happens when I watch Action Figure Obsession. I don't know why. Everything just turns black, and here we are. Yeah. So, Logan and Elvis, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, any questions? Any comments? Feel free to leave them. I don't know what else to do with this friggin' head. I really don't. It's so odd. It's there. Focus. Focus. Can you focus? Can you please focus? If you're so smart, smartphone, you can hear me. Focus. Get some light on the subject. I don't know why those lines form. That's weird. Yeah, Elvis in the sun. Okay. Um, yeah, so he's my Elvis. And yeah, another mass casualty event, second one today. And nobody's feet want to stand up now. Okay, I gotcha. I get it. I get it. Oh, he doesn't want to stand up that way. Will he stand up that way? Sure, sure, of course. Of course. Yep. Elvis looking at Wolverine. It's my new diorama. So yeah, the World War II Wolverine from Hasbro Marvel Legends. I don't even remember what wave it came in. Do you guys? Do you remember? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't think he came with a Build-A-Figure piece. Maybe he did. He came with very few accessories other than what you see. The claw hands, the Elvis head. Then he came with this Thompson submachine gun, which they've been using for quite some time. Came with Peggy Carter and the World War II Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter MCU 2-pack. It came with the Ultimate Riders, Captain America, the Legendary Riders with the Ultimate Captain America. I think it came with that. I think it came with a Hammerhead, maybe. Oh, it was the one that came with the Chameleon that had the Hammerhead head. I never, ever get tired of saying Hammerhead head, by the way. Hammerhead head. So this is the one that they gave to Wolverine. It does not have a port for blast effects in the front. It is just a piece of plastic. And where's the other one? Here we go. So I give him this one, which is the World War II era sort of Thompson submachine gun by Valverse Action Force that does have a port for blast effects. Not sure if you can see that or not, but there's a little tiny hole there that does accept Valverse blast effects. And real quick comparison here. The Marvel Legends one is on the bottom. It is obviously slightly longer. I think I prefer the paint on the Marvel Legends one actually compared to the Valverse one, and I'm sure they're both historically accurate. I'm sure there were those for which I don't know what that would be called, the body of the gun with the magazine and the trigger and the rail on the top. I'm sure that historically there were ones that were gunmetal gray, like the Marvel one on the bottom, and I'm sure that there were some that were just black, like the one on the top from Valverse Action Force. I might. I had the Valorous one on him, the top one, but I might give him back the Marvel one now that I see that it's larger. It's got a little more going on too. You notice what's missing from the Valverse Action Force one that the Marvel one contains? Look at the very end of the front and the very end of the end, if you will, just to coin a phrase. It has little clips for a sling, and unfortunately, they do not have holes in them. I've seen this gun a million times. And you didn't need a really tiny drill or to have made it part of the mold, and I guess they didn't think of that. Nobody thought of that. I am sure, and I don't know it for a fact, but I am sure some kit basher or customizer somewhere has somehow managed to get a sling on those two little tabs there, because that clearly is what they are intended for design-wise. But, just taking a look at it, which one of these do you prefer of these Tommy guns? You like this Hasbro Marvel Legends one, or do you like the Valverse Action Force one better? I think, weirdly, they both have a decent level of detail, but I think the Marvel one has more detail. I don't know if it's accurate detail or if it's just stuff they made up, but if you just look along the gunmetal gray parts there, the detail on the magazine and everything there, and then you flip it over, you look at it, there's more stuff over here than there is on the other side. Then you look at the Valverse Action Force one, which was probably designed by Mark II Designs, which is one of my favorite weapons designers. I see the level of detail kind of fades away into the black. It is there, so maybe a little silver dry brushing would have brought that out better. I see they both have that like rivet. See that rivet there on the handle? Or the buttstock there on the right, the little circle there. They both have that. This one doesn't have as much detail on this side, I think, as the Marvel one. Let me look again. This is very important. Talk to your family about this at dinner tonight if you have a family dinner. Yeah, there's more detail, a little bit more detail on this side on this one. It also has the rivet, and it has the rivet on both sides. The Marvel Legends one has the rivet. Look at that, right in the center of your screen. I am in control of your focus. I am in control of what you're looking at. And there it is, right there. There's that rivet right in the center of your screen on the Hasbro Marvel Legends one. And this one has it on this side, right in the center of your screen, but it does not have it on this side. But it seems to me that either could be accurate. So I am not, believe me, I am not casting aspersions against my favorite, 1/12 scale weapons manufacturer, Mark II Designs and Valaverse Action Force. You can get some Mark II Designs weaponry directly from the sources, the last I knew, at their website, which I think is Mark II, the word Mark, like Mark, your name, Mark, the number 2 designs.com, mark2designs.com. The last I knew, he still had a couple of weapons packs available. They come in gray, sort of the gunmetal gray of this bottom one here, and then you've got to paint them yourself if you want to add any color to them. But, even a little dry brushing of silver on that gunmetal gray would go a long way towards bringing it to life. I do think I'm going to give back Logan his, I wonder if no, it's not too soggy. Some of these Hasbro rifles lately are very gummy. They feel like you could just put them in your mouth and chew them. And some people probably do because, some people have even weirder obsessions than me. But you get the Elvis head. Hey, baby. You get the, you get that rifle, the Tommy gun. You get these 3 hands plus the 2 strap-on claw hands. And then that stock head. And he also comes with a little knife here. I think that's the same tactical knife that we've gotten a million times with the Tactical Soldier and Shield Agents and so forth. And finally, his final accessory is the weapons satchel here, which I think is the same one we've gotten as a purse with Mary Jane and as a weapons satchel with some other characters. The Green Goblin, for example. I think that's the exact same one. Is there paint on the, a little bit of paint on the buckle there. And by the way, with the weapon satchels, if you are a Marvel Legends collector, he said totally correctly and without slurring his words. If you are a Marvel Legends collector, I've seen a lot of reviews and videos where people have the weapon satchel on backwards. You see that little, it's like a molding error. Might be where it was connected to the sprue, although that seems like a weird place. But I see a lot of people have the satchel going the wrong way because you see, as you can see here, if you were to sling it over his other hip so that he has it on his right side, well, number one, it would conflict with the magazine pouches here, which by the way, big respect to Hasbro Marvel Legends for giving him a Thompson submachine gun and then giving him pouches for the correct magazine for the Thompson submachine gun. And it's even got a little texture on there. You see that? Where did they drop the ball? They did drop the ball. Where did they drop the ball with those pouches? Can you tell me? Anyone? Bueller? They didn't paint those buttons. They could have painted those buttons, a little touch of silver, a little touch of gray. Yeah, they could have painted the buttons. But you say, well, maybe you don't want the buttons painted because then they'd reflect the sunlight and the Nazis would see you and they would shoot you. Well, yeah, there's an argument to be made there. There is. But then again, claws. So they should have painted the buttons, and they didn't. I mean, I could do that with my paint pen and my acrylic paint pen, with my silver acrylic paint pen, he said, without slurring at all. I could do that, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll zhuzh it up a little. They did put a little paint on the so-called clips here on the harness. That's not real. That's all just sculpted. But it all goes together, works. It looks really well. It looks really legit, doesn't it, as a World War II Army uniform? But what I'm saying is when they have the pouch going the other way so that the weapon satchel is on the right here, which you probably just instinctively don't want to do because of the pouches for the magazines. But if you do, you won't be able to see the paint on the buckle. And Hasbro doesn't paint things unless they're in front, just as a general rule. Sometimes they do almost as if by mistake. But there's a little bit of paint here on the pouch belt buckle here around his. It's hard to say pouch and then buckle. I wanted to say pouch buckle Just that's just me being honest, keeping it real. There is more paint on here than you would expect from a Hasbro Marvel Legends. They did give him a little bit of extra love. There's some paint. I think the hands are cast in flesh tone, and then there's some paint on the wraps that are holding the claws on. And then I think isn't there a little bit of paint on the claws too, or is that just I'm misremembering? Yeah, I guess those are just cast in this gunmetal gray, silverish color, and then they're probably keyed into the back of his fists here. And I'm just guessing, but I think that's probably true. So with some heat, you could probably pull those claws off. I don't think that they're a part of the same sculpt as the fists. I think that they're probably keyed in just from the looks of things. But between the construction and the design and the paint, he definitely has more going for him than the average Marvel Legends has had in this decade, because they have given up on so many things. The paint, the shin swivels, which reminds me, I should check and see, does he have shin swivel? Yeah, I think he does. I'm not going to test it too much because people have actually, we got used to the shin swivel, and then Hasbro decided to be cheap and get rid of it, and now people try to do the shin swivel, and they end up shearing off the shin or the boot because there is no peg, or it isn't meant to be turned, even if there is. You should always have shin swivel on your Marvel Legends, and if you get a Marvel Legend that does not have shin swivel, it is because Hasbro hates you. And that's all there is to that. I mean, shin swivel is basically the lower leg equivalent of a bicep swivel. So all Marvel Legends should have bicep swivels. And they didn't even start giving them to girls until like 3 years ago. There was only like one buck that they had, one body mold in the whole line for women. I think it was the Moonstone body mold that even had a bicep swivel, or as I was going to say, a shin swivel in her arm. But yeah, there should always be a shin swivel. Just period, end of sentence. So I think the Valaverse Tommy gun's going somewhere else. I don't know. I guess I could give it to that World War II Captain America. I don't think he has one. I know I got another one around here someplace that is just black, but I think that might actually be a Valaverse Action Force one. I think they came in the weapons crate right here. That one, the weapons tin that I got a few years ago, that had like 98 weapons in it for like $80. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, one of the greatest action figure accessory deals of my lifetime. So, if you didn't get this guy, if you didn't get this World War II Logan, get everything closer together, why don't you? AV and loaded. There we go. And what about the Elvis head? You can get that in frame too. He's all shook up. Just the head, though, not the body. The body is the Beyonder from the Secret Wars wave, and I don't give a shit about the Beyonder. Do you? Oh, that reminds me of something else I wanted to tell you. But anyway, let me wrap up with Logan here first, and then I'll do that as kind of an addendum. But I'm not going to make another video unless I drop the phone. The World War II Logan, this is all the stuff he comes with, plus the Elvis head. Hey, it's me, old pal Elvis. Yeah. I mean, to me, the Elvis head was a plus, because the second I saw it, when I bought it and got it out of the box, I was like, okay, that's Elvis. I just got to find a body for it. And then it was the Beyonder, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so perfect. It's almost the perfect Elvis. So, and I don't usually do reviews per se, and I really haven't reviewed this. I haven't put him through his paces or done any other posing really, or talked about the articulation too much. It does what it needs to do. You can get him into a pose where he's holding his weapon and advancing on the enemy, or firing on the enemy, or yelling at the enemy, because that's what he does best, and what he does best isn't very nice. It's a damn good figure. It's a damn good Wolverine. Wolverine is not somebody that I needed yet another one of. I mean, if you've got the hot claws Wolverine, look at those hot claws, baby. They're hot. They're red hot. I had to show you the hot claws Wolverine, since I've been talking about him so much. Least favorite Wolverine, I think, ever in Hasbro Marvel Legends. I mean, there's so many worse ones that I hate less than I hate that one. But... But yeah, that's it. And just for fun, let's pretend this is a review. And I will tell you, I love Wolverine as a character, but he's way overexposed. But this gives us a version that really has not been overexposed, that we have not really gotten a version of before. I'm sure some people even had kit bashed or customized their own World War II Logans based on his appearance in the movie The Wolverine. There's a brief scene of him in World War II. or in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Captain America episode early in the series, where we see Captain America fighting with Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos, and one of those Howling Commandos is a Howling Wolverine back in World War II. It's pretty cool that they finally got around to making an action figure of it, and it totally doesn't suck. I mean, if I could do like two things to make this figure better, the only two things I would really do is put some shading on the pants and maybe some some highlights or some paint on the buttons on his magazine, and maybe just a black wash on that whole entire belt that he's wearing with the pouches and the magazine pouches and the pouches. But overall, for Marvel Legends, for what you usually get from Marvel Legends, and especially in this decade so far, which has just, 2019 was the peak year for Hasbro Marvel Legends. That was the year of the 80 years line that gave us the Alex Ross, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. It was the year of the 80 years Hulk that came in the 2-pack with the first appearance Wolverine. It gave us the Juggernaut reissue of the Build-A-Figure, which was better than the original Build-A-Figure, and that came in a 2-pack with a Colossus that we desperately needed. So many good figures in 2019. Go on Action Figure 411.com, look up Marvel Legends, and go year by year. And you count the truly great action figures that Marvel Legends released every year from really the beginning of the modern era, which was around 2014, until right this very minute, 2026. And I think you're going to find 2019 was the peak year. And if you disagree, feel free to leave a comment. And if you make a good point, maybe I won't delete it. Yeah. No, I won't delete your comment. If you disagree, tell me why you disagree if you do. I'm open to listening, and there probably are a couple of other years that were as close to peak as 2019 was, the 80th year of Hasbro Marvel Legends. But I don't think it was in this decade, in the 2020s. I just think that they have blown it more often than not. For every deluxe Odin or Death's Head, we've gotten so many janky, lousy, Dr. Spectrum on the goddamn Bucky Cap body with about 2 cents of paint and 2 seconds of time and thought put into it. Yeah, I'll die on the hill of 2019 was the best year for Hasbro Marvel Legends. And I say that, by the way, hoping that they do better. Hoping they do better this year. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. My wallet wouldn't love it, but I would love it. I would absolutely love it. So if I was to grade this Wolverine based on what it is, a World War II Logan with the accessories that he comes with and everything, I think I'd give him an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. And this is officially, after almost 200 action figure obsession videos, I think this is officially the first time that I have even tried to really review a figure and actually given it a numerical rating. 8 out of 10 for World War II Logan. How do you feel about that, Logan? Bub? I don't know why my focus isn't working as well as it usually does today. Something weird going on. I don't know what it is. Come on. There we go. And now it's all washed out. Yeah, that's great. Perfect. I think I screwed up my camera settings just before I started taping or recording or filming or whatever you want to call it. But it's too late now. I'll try to get it right next time. So 8 out of 10 for the World War II Logan from Hasbro Marvel Legends, and his Tommy gun and his couple extra hands and his super cool World War II strapped-on claws, and of course his Elvis head. All about the Elvis head here on Action Figure Obsession. All right. I was going to say one other thing. I was thinking about my Secret Wars. I was running down in a recent video how many I got of each in the Secret Wars wave. So it's 5 Captain Americas, right? 2 Beyonders, 2 Iron Men. Oh, boy, I'm running out of steam already. Who else was in that wave? Iron Man, Captain America, Beyonder. 1 Titania, definitely 1 Titania. Oh, and Wolverine. 2 Wolverines. Maybe 3. It's possible it was 3, but I think definitely 2. I still definitely have 2. If there is a third one, it's possible it was 3. That's like Schrodinger's Wolverine. It's either 2 or 3 Secret Wars Wolverines. You know what I need to do? Because I've only ever used one of those, the inserts for the shield with the Secret Wars figures. I still have all of those in a baggie. I should get those out and count them because I don't know for sure. And the itch in the back of my skull will go away. But I definitely, the one thing I can say for sure is I only ever got 1 of Titania, and I don't really regret that because, her appearance, first of all, the paint deco / design on her is not quite accurate to the comics. She was a little more risque in the comics as far as the cleavage goes, and there was really no good reason why they had to be so modest and paint that figure the way that they did. Titania from the Secret Wars wave. I mean, if I was reviewing it, would I take off a whole point for that? No, because I'm not that consumed with action figure cleavage. God knows, Shartimus Prime, there are quite a few reviewers who are, but I don't get too worked up about it. You know, they're 6-inch little plastic people, and if I was really getting excited about their cleavage, I would need even more help than I already need. So I think that's it. Kind of went on a ramble there at the end. Apologies for that. Maybe I need more caffeine. Maybe I need less caffeine. Did you ever think about that? Thanks for watching and spending some time of your day with me today. I do appreciate you setting aside some time to see what the hell I had to say. And I do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you hated it, give us a thumbs down. Leave a comment with any of your observations or analysis or opinions. Love to know what you think. And subscribe to the channel if you like this. Maybe I'll do some more sometime. You never know. I mean, it can't hurt. You can try. I'm not making any promises, but, you know, give it a try. And hit the notification bell if you do subscribe so you find out every time I upload another rambling, poorly focused, badly lit action figure obsession video. I mean, it's really, you know, you're getting a lot for your money here. You're getting a lot of quality for your money here. Yeah. Share the video, by the way, if you know anyone who likes World War II or the X-Men or Logan or, you know, Strap-Ons, I mean, Strap-On Claws, whatever their interests are. No judgment here. No judgment whatsoever. So thanks again for checking out this action figure obsession video. I do appreciate all your time, all your interest, all your efforts. And until next time, I will see you on the next one. And remember, Wolverine is the best he is at what he does, but what he does isn't very nice.